Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining me again on this Tuesday evening. And as always, I appreciate all your support. Welcome. Earlier on, I did a video about council tax. And you can see the thumbnail here with Miss Rayner pointing her angry finger in my direction. Council tax will get worse. Now, what do I mean by council tax will get worse? There's many things doing the rumour mill at the moment with regard to what's going to happen with the budget when it comes up. We've already been told by Keir Starmer it's going to get very painful for a lot of people. Now, in my view, and historically, when Labour get into power, we see a whole manner of taxes going up. And one of the key things that they're talking about, or the rumour is going around, is that the 25% single person's discount could be scrapped. There's nothing concrete on this. However, where this came from, Angela Rayner, when she got back from her piss up in Ibiza, was interviewed and she was asked that question and basically didn't go anywhere near it, didn't acknowledge, didn't confirm or deny. And of course, when the mainstream media get hold of something like that, they think, oh, it's a bit juicy. Let's go and wind everybody up and scare them. Well, I did a video on this earlier today just to tell you what I thought and some of my experiences. And I'm just about old enough to remember when this was brought in as a replacement for the poll tax after we had those riots. And I remember how hard my mother was worried at the time, things were going to get for us. It really was a little bit testy. Now, as per usual, there were a lot of comments on this video. And one thing that's very important to me on this channel is hearing your views. So we get to hear what you say. So without further ado, we'll bring them up. Let's have a look, see what we've got. Okay, the first one, Ariel 1558. Anyone owning a property will be stuffed over the next 5 years with this corrupt government. If you think council tax is bad now, during the next 5 years, it will be horrendous. You know, one of the things that I have a problem with any government is when there's a general election and when they decide what they're going to say to get into power, that is their manifesto. That's what they're going to do. And one of the things that they said was they were going to protect the vulnerable, including making sure that the winter fuel payment was guarded and protected. Look what happened. Within a week or two, scrapped. And you have to get on pension credit, I think it is, to get hold of it. So you wonder what else they're going to backtrack on, don't you? Okay, the next thing. End Crisp 100. Perhaps the refugees and the comfort of hotels should be made to pay council tax or be first forced to work for their keep. You and I both know that ain't ever going to happen. And, you know, one of the things I saw earlier, brief news article, was about foreign criminals. Well, not foreign criminals, criminals in total, and the fact that there's no room in the jails. And they're talking about shipping British criminals off the jail cells in Estonia. Come off it. Something's really broken here, isn't it? Now, Rick 17413, an edited comment, a long one. The more they take off you, the less you have to spend in the economy. Businesses will collapse. People will be joining unemployment. You need money to keep moving about the economy, not being used to keep funding and paying for the government, the public servants and their pensions. They should be taxing us less so we have more money to spend. And in a way, to not keep trying to give it back to us using a very inefficient system called the government. Welcome to the Labour government, everyone, who are not going back to the future, but back to the dark days of the past. You've heard the stories of the 70s, and it looks like you may all get to experience it firsthand. Get those candles ready and expect strikes and chaos year after year until we get them out again. Labour is never a good thing, but unfortunately politicians and parties are all as bad as each other. One of the things as well which is concerning this time round is our ability to have our opinion and voice our concerns over all of this too. I mean, I saw a thing going over to the States. Kamala Harris was interviewed about the freedom to express yourself on X the freedom to have an opinion. She's saying, you know, this needs to be stopped. These people on both sides of the Atlantic really want to put the kibosh on everything, and it is worrying. The trajectory it's going down. But you're absolutely right. I mean, they base all of their calculations on the amount of tax they're going to get, the amount of council tax they're going to raise. And at the end of the day, in an ideal world, or their ideal world, everybody pays what they're supposed to pay on time, every time. And what do you think accountants are for example? To try and make people as tax efficient as possible. These people have got their heads stuck in the Westminster bubble. Can't get out of it. Can't get out of it. Okay, let's have a look at the next comment. Chris 100 again. If they take away my 25% discount, I just won't bother paying it. I'll refuse. I think there'll be more like you saying that as well. Just tax, high taxes, low growth, big government. Like the previous comment said, you know, you've got to have money to put back into the economy. And if they tax people, if they go after properties, if they go after everything, you know, businesses are shut or they'll get moved overseas. It will cost people's jobs. People with money will relocate. It's happened before and it'll happen again. John Blows, Thatcher was right. Houses should be taxed per adult in the house. It's a much fairer idea. Now, what you're describing there, I think, is the basis of what we came to know as the poll tax back in the day, wasn't it? And that's what caused everything to kick off and the worry about how, well, worse off people thought they were going to be under that system. Would we have been worse off? I don't know. I mean, I grew up in the 80s and a little bit in the 90s, so I was only young at the time, probably just about entering my teens. So I remember, but, you know, it was my mum that was affected by it. I just remember the feeling at the time, and it wasn't good. Theo Bovril, council tax has got to go up simply because the government is forcing councils to take on these immigrants and house them. Yeah, you've heard that a certain amount have to be housed. That's what they're saying, and dead wrong. Negu Mums Against the Child, they also take council tax arrears off your universal credit. That's very true. Same again, council tax comes off universal credit before you get it. Don't get a say in it. Yeah, if you're on a benefit or something like that, you are going to get done. Absolutely. Legal afflictions is fraud, and in a Cabby. Who is writing your scripts? I want to discuss these topics with you live, my friend. I have solutions. They don't involve political parties, though, including reform. Up for it? Do you have the guts? Can you handle a loose cannon? So, are you a loose cannon, huh? I find that offer intriguing. You probably find my email address. Please get in touch. Dan the Mantle. Oh, one more thing before we go to Dan the Mantle. Who is writing my scripts? I don't have any scripts. I've never had any scripts. Everything I do is off of here. You know, I find a topic that I feel I can talk about or something that matters that I can give an opinion on. I just talk. You know, it's completely unscripted. Never, ever, ever have I had a script for anything, unless I'm obviously reading a letter or something that somebody sent me in. So I hope that helps. Okay, loose cannon, huh? Dan the Mantle. If you live on your own in a civilized society, council tax would be 50%. This Labour government is the worst that's ever been in power. The charlatans said they wouldn't put up tax, insurance and VAT for working people. They hid the truth. Reeves said pensioners have had a significant rise last year. The rise is not equal to 1/8 for the MP's rise. Never mind their expenses. This country's political system is well and truly broken. You talk about the pensioners, and I'll talk about this in another video as well. The whole idea that they're now referring to the state pension as a benefit and the possibility it could be means tested. Now, we've all paid into the national insurance pot for years and years and years, some more than others. Were we being misled? I can see that being big trouble. I really can. Let me know what you think. David, the big plan is to put so much stress on people. The only way we can live with is with some sort of Marxism, the government controlling everything. The key thing to look out for, I think, is universal basic income. You start seeing stuff like that. We know everything that we've read and everything that we've understood may be coming to pass. Matthew Roberts, if everyone stops working and going on welfare, then they're screwed. Yeah, the government will control everything. JC Fallows, more than 40% of the rates we pay go straight out to pay the pensions for retired council workers, many who were the top earners in the town hall, collecting thousands of pounds a week. No public pension should be more than £1,000 a week. If the surplus was cut off, it would save over 300 billion a year. A third of the national debt of 3 trillion is down to public pensions. I think there's a lot of wastage as well, isn't there? A lot of what you would call vanity projects, a lot of what you would call funneling money off to causes, which are they really important? Who knows? Anyway, let's have a look. Big Gaz, 2-tier Kia, Starmer and his ginger growler were on a power trip. About time we demanded the pair of them resign together with their party. You wonder what's going to happen next, don't you, Big Gaz? Jeff Worthington, have you got evidence of this? Or is it a friend of a friend of a friend saying it down the pub? Give us evidence. It's all over the news, Jeff. Have a look. You know, as I said at the beginning, it's a rumour in the media, but it needs discussing just in case it becomes more than that. Richard Lyons, why not stop all foreign aid? And that includes Ukraine to fill the black hole. Yeah, I mean, India's a favourite. You know, when you mention India, the lefties will straight away go, "Oh, we only give." Blah, 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 blah. That's not the point. They're launching things into space. We shouldn't be giving our money to a country that can do that because it's not going to where it should be, is it? You know, we're all about honouring our international obligations, and it's our own people that end up suffering. Father Christmas. Labour give 11 billion to other countries. When Rachel Thief said the Tory black hole, what she was telling you in Labour language is we, before the election, we're going to tax you till your eyes pop out. We know we hate the local Labour riffraff, but we have to give them the smile to con them into electing us. Yeah, this is my ultimate problem with the whole entire thing. Unbreakable. The United States was created to escape the British addiction to taxes, and then our Congress slowly became a tax addict and imposes more taxes. That's the magic thing, isn't it? Taxes. Than the British ever thought about. The guys who wrote the Constitution of the United States were right. Government is the problem. Yeah. And you know, the whole system needs fixing, doesn't it? One more comment. Father Christmas 2998. I'm getting my sit bag ready for Starmer's Oscar-nominated performance. Remembrance Day. He will stand up like a weak dead crow and stick his arm up. Has a salute. Has for experience. Thatcher, give them to MPs, only for stationery, nothing else. And remember where expenses were voted, secret at the time, and claimed videos on expenses were caught out. They are my husband's, but what I find strange is she walked into the shop there. Yeah, I get the sentiment. I get the sentiment entirely. Well, there you go, everybody. There's another selection of your comments. You're all very much of equal mind, all very much at the same viewpoint with this whole shower. And, you know, that's what we've got here, like-minded community, and I very much appreciate it. Please, if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel so you can keep up to date with everything. And I appreciate you coming and interacting and watching what I do and what I bring out. Hit the like button because that helps YouTube. Spread it around. Share me on your social media. And I'll be back tomorrow with more stuff. And until then, I will look forward to talking to you again soon. Toodaloo.